So I had to do a follow-up video on the air conditioning on the Subaru, where we changed the O-rings on top of the compressor. The owner is a technician, and he worked at the body shop that painted this car. Do you see those cracks? And can you see this little ring? Let me see if I could catch it in the light just right. Okay, you see this little lump, and it goes, the video doesn't do it justice. There we go. You see that little line? As I move back, there's a ring right here. So it wasn't an accident. And this is the procedure for repair. Well, this was a bad procedure. This is why this body shop who did this work is out of work. Because it looked nice when it was delivered, but this is the end result. And this happens in many shops. It's all about how fast you could get it done, how cheap you could get it done. So they did their little repair. They sanded it out and they feathered out their edge right here. And the little ring is the feather edge. That was down to metal, and that's the transition between metal, then primer, and then you have your base and your clear coat and the edge there. Then they primed it after they worked their metal, did their bondo. They did some heavy coats of primer, tried to build it, and then they tried to sand it back out. But they didn't do a good job, because that's why you still see the edge there. Usually if they're like little repairs right in the middle of fender, you'll see a ring like this. And my father and my grandfather used to call it, those are assholes, because assholes did that. And then they laid it over too wet, and the solvents from the base went into the primer that was your heavy build for feathering out, and it caused those little cracks. And then after the base, they put down the clear, and then later on this shows up looking like this. And you can pump out cars really fast and make high profit by doing them fast like this. But years later, you start having these comebacks, and your name comes back. Say, hey, don't go to this guy, because 2 years later, 3 years, 5 years later, this kind of stuff happens. And same goes with the body shops that would try to blend up, and they would try to burn in the clear right here instead of doing the whole thing all the way to the rear, because oh, I can't get paid for that, or I don't want to do that, or I want to take a shortcut, or whatever their excuse is. It's always an asshole excuse. And so they burn in the clear. This is something you customers don't know, because they can't match the color. So they'll replace this fender, and they'll take some of this original color and they'll dust it off onto this pillar right here, and they'll try to slowly blend it out so your eye doesn't catch it, so you don't know that their color did not match to your original. But if you slowly blend it out, your eye can't catch the difference on a pillar at a different angle. And then they'll throw in a burn-in clear, and they'll throw a little clear on it, and then they'll throw in a burn-in clear at their transition. And you won't see it, but a couple years after you have some polish jobs and stuff, it'll start turning milky white, and you'll start to see some of the clear peel back or become rough and textured at this point where they did their burn-in. And these are all scum-sucking low-life shops who do stuff like this. But the customer pays the price of poor performance later on. And if you ever go to sell your car, well, now you have a car where somebody knows it's been an accident and it has a screwed up paint job. You just lower the value of that customer's car by doing a shitty job. The body shop made money, the customer loses in the end. All right, and I know this from firsthand experience. And the body shop technician, who's the frame guy here, this is his vehicle, and he worked at the shop that this was done in. He told me firsthand experience, and this is why they're out of business, because of stuff like this, amongst other things. All right, see you guys.